everybody, and welcome back to another Rune reading with myself, Simon. I'd like to give a big thank you today to Ethan Bernays for all his hard work constantly on making this channel a reality, keeping me motivated, directing the shots, running the camera, taking care of everything that really needs to be taken care of. And so this shout out goes to Ethan, without whom this channel could not be a possibility. There we go, on with that. It is the Easter weekend, Good Friday. So bearing those energies in mind today, we're doing this reading. So in the Southern Hemisphere, that energy represents time, it's autumn, it's the time of harvest, heading towards winter, harvest. So all the hard work over the last season, this is the time that should start paying off. And in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the time of the springtime. So it's time to plant and to start preparing for, in fact, now with the recent full moon would have been a great time to be planting in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's not too late. With that in mind, where you are in the world, the runes will bring guidance. Alright, so waking up the beauties. Hello guys, how are you? Been busy this week. We've done a few readings for people in person that have come to see us for consultations. Sharing that smoke together. It's the offering to the runes. Now, I do have a drinking horn in which I keep all the gifts that I give to the runes before each reading. I will bring that out on camera sometime. So there has to be an energy exchange every time. You need to bear this in mind. Thank you for joining us and sharing with us today, mighty runes, the great wisdom of Odin. And that's everyone. So let's see what we're dealing with. Once again, if you've seen my previous video, you'll know the runes that are lying face down are the things that we already know, and quite often the what soul wants rune is upside down because we know what it is. Sometimes it doesn't need to be spoken. Sometimes it's stuff we don't want to admit to, we don't want to speak. So let's start off as usual with what soul wants in the middle here. So at this time in our lives, soul wants connection. All ye's people to love us. We want recognition, we want connection, we want to feel connected religiously, spiritually, in our community. We want to feel connected to the people around us. We want to feel connected to our culture, to our gods, to our belief system. So that is a strong feeling amongst us at this time. Really what it comes down to is a desire to connect with oneself, and understand oneself deeper through understanding others and through connecting with others. obviously humans are intrinsically social creatures. We need, it's one of our basic needs, is that social connection. So here we have Raido right next to, moving towards receiving in the past. Raido is the journey rune. It's the chariot card, it's the journey, it's the ride. Raido. We're moving here in our past, which just on the line of our present is the journey. And that is coming from the connectedness, where have we been journeying, where have we been going, and why is that in the past? What's happening now? What are we doing with that now? So here we see very much, as I was saying, about in the Southern Hemisphere is the harvest, is Yira. That is the harvest time that is in the past, moving into the present. So if you're not reaping your harvest now, it's almost too late. If you're waiting for it to ripen further, you're gonna miss the bus. Right, and that's holding and receiving. So you're holding out before you cash in your chips, and that's a bad example because it is a harvest. You've worked hard to build up what's coming. If you harvest that too late, it will spoil. So we don't want our harvest to spoil, because then we can't consume it, and that would render it useless, obviously. So lying, what we have here under the harvest is Dagas, the day. This is like literally make hay while the sun shines. You can't hold on to the daylight forever. Winter's coming. Likewise, it's almost too late to plant in the Northern Hemisphere. Just please bear that in mind. You can't hold out forever. I mean, you can plant the whole season, but the sooner you start, the sooner you eat. Just think about that for a second. Alright, so that's where we are there. Then here we have something that's concealed. Again, face down. And that's still in the holding quadrant in the past. But coming in and affecting the present. And that is the horse rune. And so holding on to something is not always a bad thing, as long as we know this. But this is a means of transport. This is the vehicle to get something done. So we are holding on to the vehicle. We have the vehicle. And we've had it, and we still have it. So we're holding that, and that's good. And on top of that is Ingwaz, which is the unity, harmony, and this is the connection we're looking for. So it's there, and we have the vehicle to maintain it. We have the vehicle to receive it. It's in our lives. It is also was leaning onto the quadrant of giving. And giving and receiving are the same gift, they're the same blessing. So that peace that you receive, that you got from giving other people things, when it's your time to receive, get that same peace in the harmony of receiving. You see, you must also be okay with receiving things. Not just feel good about giving, you must feel good about receiving. As good as you feel when you get to give and share with people is how good they feel when they get to give and share with you. So denying them that opportunity is robbing them of joy. And I know it's trying to be polite. We're trying to be polite. We don't want to be a pain or whatever, a burden. But if someone's trying to give you something, receive it graciously and In the same way your giving blesses others and blesses yourself. So let them be blessed by their giving. Moving here very much in the past, but just touching the future. We have Otala lying on top of Uruz. So I see strong family foundations. It's always your people close to you, in your tribe, in your kraal, in your family, that give you the strength. Literally right here by giving. Give you the strength to do what it is that you need to do. Now, Uruz was not face down. The strength wasn't face down. The home was, the kraal was. So wherever you find your kraal, your tribe, your family, you've almost forgotten that you can rely on them for that boost. You've almost forgotten. And it ties in with this like not wanting to receive from people. It's like, oh, I can't rely on them again. I can't ask them again. You know, they've helped me, they've given me, they've done something for me, if I keep going back to them, I'll be a burden. And that's nonsense, and get that out your face. Because you're robbing them the opportunity to love you and to share with you and support you. They do that because they love you. And if it is becoming burdensome, they'll let you know. Because they love you. If they don't love you, they'll disconnect anyway. They'll drift on. We spoke last time about going with the flow, and it's coming up again just now. Follow the flow. The river takes away flotsam and jetsam. You know? That's what's up. Alright, and in the decision sphere, it's just funny to look. Decisions, there's not a lot of decisions this time. There's a lot of actions this time. There's a bunch of holding. Last week, a week ago, it wasn't a time of holding, it was a time of figuring out what to hold. Now, we've made the decisions in the last week. And we're going to start receiving, we're going to start giving. There's a lot of giving and receiving. So there's a lot of actions here. And a cluster of holding in this little time frame, just now, in this now period. In this now period. Let's have a look at this face down in the present with indecisions. I see this Vakana is the very female energy, so this is probably going to resonate with some of the people in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment. It's with the springtime energy. So quite simply put, decide where to sow your seeds most efficiently. It is the female kind of fertility rune. We can take it quite metaphorically and quite literally. So if you're deciding at the moment between two love interests, it's a good time to buckle down and make that decision. Just quite simply, before it's too late, because people are finding ones right now. This is springtime, so people are feeling a kind of a certain way. People are feeling a certain way. So your prospects will run out if you leave it too long. That's quite simply that. And since we indecisions, in the medium future, going into the far future, you're gonna know what decisions to make to receive what you need to receive. Once again, it's a time of action. You should have made these decisions. Whether it's spring or autumn, fall, you should have made these decisions. Now you should be harvesting, you should be planting. That's planting, that's harvesting. You know, that's time for that. So that covers the decisions quite nicely. And when we look into giving, I see the water rune, lagos, lakes and lagoons, sitting quite comfortably atop Gifu. We've got the gifts, we've got Iwas, we've got protection there, we've got Pertro over there, which is it's a nice completion, and all of that is currently flowing through the giving quadrant. So we're got to get ready to start giving up on a couple of these things. So when I say, we got to start giving up on a couple of these things, we remember that with the river, when it flows, it doesn't flow and leave nothing behind it. There's more water. So as these things flow away, these previous gifts, and it's even stuff we used to know, which we don't need to know anymore. Celebration, party time, that floats away at the moment. A sense of safety, a sense of protection, sometimes that floats away. So they float away, it's busy happening. Going with the flow. So remember, when we give up on these things, when we let these things go, it's because we're going to receive something better, or something new, something different in its stead. So, carrying on with the quadrant of giving, since we're here, and that's what we're doing, in our presence, I see truth. There's truth here. And from the present going into the future is answers, answers, tier and answers. Now we've got answers, we've got truth in giving, but I am going to break it down for you. No, I'm not like that. So our answers and our truth in giving mean we need to give truthful answers. Whoa. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. So let's give truthful answers. In this time especially, some things are changing. Some things are changing. Some things are floating away. And in this transitionary period, be as honest, be as truthful as you can be in the situation, which is absolutely truthful, because that's what you can be. Most importantly, with yourself. But with everyone, your answers need to be truthful. Your answers need to be truthful. You need to give your authentic self. And that's in the present going into the future. That's in the future going into the far future. You continue giving your authentic self, giving truthful answers, giving up on old notions of success, old notions of protection, safety, old notions of joy, old notions of your giftings. You limit your giftings to certain things and they're unlimited. Right, so going to have to, going forward, give of our authentic selves, give truthful answers, give up on the things that are no longer serving us. We can agree those things are no longer serving us. And just an interesting note on giving while we were doling out offerings for the runes earlier. Midnight, the cat, beautiful black cat, you may be able to see her next to me performing cat-like things while she's in the spotlight. We gave her some milk, and being just the amazing channeling energy and entity the cats are, she then took up position next to me on my rune book and has been just helping us with this reading the whole way through. So big shout out to Midnight. I could not do this without you. She is the executive director and producer. So that is official. What else do we need to give? What else do we need to give? We need to give our needs and our duties. Give into our needs. Are we looking after ourselves? And this is always in the future. This is something we forget often, I think. Doing it at the moment. It's 2025, it's my year. Easter, it's the time for... Yes, you're always, preaching with self-growth and preaching it. Man, and we can give the best advice to people about it. And then we don't feed ourselves. We don't give it back, So give yourself what you need. Give yourself what you need. It's within your power. It's not even like, how do I do that? What do you need right now? Connection. That's what your soul wants. And you have a crawl. You have a family. And that's shaking. Some of that's shaking at the moment. Your sense of family, your sense of belonging. Yes, that's what your soul's desiring. 100%. We're giving up on things that we thought were stable, things that we thought were part of us. 100%. 100%. It's a time we feel like people aren't giving us what we need. Get you. I get you. That's why I'm so absolutely grateful for the beautiful people in my life. I love to live every day. It's something Ethan taught me. I'm blessed. That's a mantra. How you doing? I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So we've looked in the decisions. And we've gone through giving. And let's move into the quadrant of holding. And then we save receiving for last, like the unboxing. What coming next? What we getting? Yeah, so we looked at, we've got our transport, we've got our vehicle. And we're holding on to that. From the past into the present, we're holding on to that. We're holding on to our harvest, our inheritance. We're holding on to the daylight. Some of us need to move our asses a little bit more and reap the benefits of our hard work in the last season. Otherwise, we lose it. We're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. I'm good. I'm reaping. You think about that. The universe always says yes. So as long as you're like, I need money, the universe is like, yes, you need money. Receiving money, yes, you're receiving money. I'm blessed. Hell yes, you're blessed. So still in the present, we have Thorisas, the power of Thor. We have the thorn. And lying on top of that, covering that a little bit, we have Fehu, Freya's rune. Thor and Freya hanging out together right now, holding. And that's not in the mythologies, so don't quote me on that. I've never really heard a story where Freya and Thor are holding each other. Thor dressed up as Freya the one time. It was a bet the gods lost. I love these infallible gods that often are losing bets like this, and Freya had to marry one of the giants. And instead, Loki and Freya disguised him as her using some shape-changing magic and some very clever decoration, and popped out of this, like jumped out of the cake kind of vibes, kicked everyone's ass at the wedding, ate all the food, drank all the mead, and good times were had by all. Of course, Loki was involved, and we will cover that story in more depth. So seeing Freya and Thor hanging out at the moment, right now in the quadrant of holding, is quite interesting. It's like having major arcana pools in the tarot. It's like, oh wow, that's a big force. It's a lot of power, and we've got to think it makes so much sense in light of the season we're in, which is both the season of harvest and the season of planting. These are both the gods of farming. They're both gods of farming. They're both merchant gods. They're gods of fertility, of harvest, and obviously war. But this is Scandinavian gods. That was they're not war gods. That is who they are. They're just warring gods. So this is just a big reminder. Hold on to this time. Hold on to those energies now while you're planting. Keep Freya in mind. Keep Thor in mind. Put something aside for them. Honor them in your progress. Honor them in your growing cycle. When there's a thunderstorm, when the rain comes and you don't have to spend the day watering your plants, give honor to Thor, give praise to Thor. And now obviously this is practical and metaphorical. I mean, if we look at the state of the world, I hope everybody's considering some sort of homesteading or feeding themselves, growing their own food, and tobacco products and smokables. Another shout out to Franks for keeping me supplied with the herbies, rollies, smoking something healthy, a herbal mix, cutting down on the tobacco. I do love my tobacco, but it's so nice to just have something that calms you, refreshes you, goes easy on your chest. You got things like Cole's Foot in there. That's a blessing. And being able to be in a position where you're growing those things that you don't have to buy stuff. You don't have to be dependent on the system or the economy. So what if inflation kicks in? My potatoes are growing the same. I'm not going to grow less potatoes because of inflation. But metaphorically as well, as this is a good time to be sowing seeds in business or sending out your CV for a new job. Again, I'd love to encourage entrepreneurship wherever possible. Really, those are the ways of our ancestors. You go get, and you want something, you're the one who goes and gets it. It's not up to anyone else to bring it to you. You grow it. Holding, going far into the future, is the Ice Rune, Isa. We haven't seen Hoggle yet. So Isa's there in holding. Far future, face down. That's a cooling of emotions. That's just a time of clear introspection, honest introspection. We talk again about giving truthful answers, giving yourself truthfully. So that's what we're talking about. Think before you speak. Don't act rashly, don't act emotionally, don't act in anger. Your emotions are here already attached to giving up things, losing things. It's not a loss. It feels like a loss. The reservoir needs fresh water, not stagnant water, so it flows. Right? It flows. You're watering your crops with healthy water. Cooking your broth for winter in clean water, nutrient-rich rainwater that's fresh, that came now. It flowed, it took all the gunk away, all the distractions. Right? Lock in, my friends. This is the time. Right, you want to look at receiving now. What are we getting? Unboxing. It's not all going to be good news. It's not all going to be bad. So over here we have Wunjo, and this is right now. This is right now in the present. We have joy. We have joy, and that's part of the harvest. That's like, we know we've locked in, we know we've worked, we've done it. And joy isn't circumstantial. It's not like happiness, it's not fleeting. Joy is substantial. And joy is consistent and constant. You can be sad and joyful, and I know it sounds like a contradiction, but you can be sad and joyful simultaneously. It's in your heart, you know everything's okay. In your head, in your ego, well, God's above. Odin's beard, Could things get any worse? Yes, they could. And if you keep thinking like that, guess what? They will. So let's not think like that. We focus on that joy, that sits in our hearts. It's a peace. It's just a contentment, an unshakable faith in ourselves and in tomorrow. We have Sowilo, that power, the plasma of the sun, the lightning bolt, that magical electricity that keeps us going. That's what we're receiving right now. Sustenance. We're receiving good food. We're getting our needs met. We're receiving energy from our environment. So let's focus on that. If we focus on what's flowing away and we worry about that, we're going to miss the joy and this energy, this beautiful energy. And there's Hoggle, the hailstorm. So, and it's face down and it's part of the energy. And we are receiving some struggle. We are receiving some hard times. That's where the joy is important. And the strength is important. The energy is important. We are battling with this thing, with these things flowing away. It's tough. It's a destruction. It's a flattening. It's a reckoning. And most especially, this is part of the energy, autumn going into winter in the Southern Hemisphere, is the hailstorms come, and especially in Scandinavia, Norway, in those areas, where the runes come from. When the hailstorm came, then we would have the period of ice. It would flatten the fields, and then it sits and it soaks and it spends all winter. The nutrients are gathering and things are frozen in, so when it thaws in spring, you've got this cool, mushy, rotty stuff happening, which nurtures and nourishes the fields. So that hail, it's thawing now for some people going into spring, and it's flattening some things, and that's going to melt and wash away some things, and that's happening. That's happening right now, and there's a joy that surpasses any of that drama and any of that pain. And we have the energy to carry on. We have the sun, especially now for the people who are having springtime, thawing, and that's where you're watching your stuff wash away while it thaws there, right? But we're okay. You're going to be strong, you're going to be fine. And there you have that joy that surpasses any of that. And the decisions you need to make come from the knowledge of those things. Okay, guys, so in summary, let's bear in mind that our soul at the moment is craving connection. So may that be from loss, change of environment. We looked at last time, there's change of home, change of homestead, change of environment, new values, new things coming in. So it might be moving house, or wherever it is, you're feeling a bit lonely and lacking for connection. It's a time where you're giving up on some things to make space for new things. They're going with the flow. And you have to give truthful answers. Give truthful answers, give your authentic self, and give yourself your needs. You have to take care of your own needs. Going into the decisions, you choose where to sow your seed. Choose your fighter. Choose what comes next, in where you invest your time, your money, your emotions, your love. And in the future, you will be better equipped to know what to decide and what decisions you need to make. A lot of the decisions have been made in the last week, so this is a time of doing. And when we look into holding, remember we had that powerful union between Thor and Freya, which also probably means Loki was up to no good, which was not running away with your stuff. They're sorting it out. And let's appeal to those energies at this time. especially being Easter, that's synonymous with Freya. And into the future, remember, let's not act emotionally. Keep your emotions in check. Keep that cool winter ice on things, so we don't overreact. We don't make things worse. Right, into receiving the unboxing. Hooray, we've got great things. We've got great things coming. We've got a sense of peace and a sense of joy that cannot be shaken. We've got strength, we've got energy, and we've got power. And we have that because we have tough times, we have struggles. We have lessons that we've learned. Those aren't barriers. Those aren't barriers. A tree stands in your way and a chasm at its side. All that stands is a bridge waiting to happen. You build wooden stairs, carve it all pretty if you've got the time. And build that bridge and get over it. That river that's running there carries the things that were no longer serving you. That's why they're in the river, right? Grieve them, mourn them, move on, right? So that's the week ahead. Just wave goodbye to the things running down the river and walk in our strength. Focus on what we're meant to be doing. We're running out of time to plant the seeds or harvest the crops. Thanks again for tuning in to another reading, another Kenning with Sai. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, please like, please subscribe, please share the shit out of this. I love you lots. Peace and love.